Namaste, Namaste. I'm Billy Arons, and you're listening to the Figuring It Out with Billy Arons podcast. This is my digital diary, and I'm trying to figure things out here in the Earth School. Life is but a journey, and we're here to learn, grow, and evolve as spiritual beings. I'm always learning. In fact, I don't know nothing at all. I'm still becoming Billy Arons. So, in my digital diary, figuring it out, today I want to talk about the third wave of the COVID-19 epidemic. Being on lockdown, to me it felt like it was more than just a virus. It was about the world going through a reset, a restart, a reboot, a time to reflect. It was a collective consciousness energy shift, and I felt it, and I know you felt it too. So, because this is my digital diary, a place for me to be vulnerable, I can only speak from my experience. So, as we were on lockdown, things that I suppressed deep down somewhere in my consciousness came to the surface, like childhood trauma, things I thought I've dealt with came back to haunt me. There was the 10-year-old Billy, the child that was bullied in school, the child that was mistreated by some teachers, the child that witnessed domestic violence, the child that went through neglect, the child that went to school blue-eyed courtesy of a step-parent. All these things just came rushing to the surface, and that for me, that's like, I think why I call it the third wave, because in life I feel like we have to deal with things from our past, because sometimes as kids we get damaged and we carry this into our adult lives. Some of us are lucky enough to get the treatment we need, get the therapy we need. Some of us, we need to figure things out. We figure out how to navigate these streets they call adulthood. So I remember there's one bully from school. He was also a guy that came from a broken home. So I knew when he picked on me, it was not really about me. It was about him feeling good about himself. So when I thought about it, like, I had to revisit that memory and forgive that person even years later. So the bullying was not really about. And I also come from a time where teachers believed in corporal punishment. We had this one teacher that just like giving kids hiding. I don't know, did he derive pleasure from it? But we had to be extra disciplined in this class. We couldn't talk. We could only talk when he gave us permission, and for some reason we would always find an excuse to like give us a hiding for something we did, and I was always one of those people that got into trouble. Yeah, so I think through my childhood I suffered from a lot of, would you call it, violence or abuse, some type of abuse, and the lockdown allowed me to revisit those feelings and deal with it and get it out of my system and find healing and closure, because that's what we do. We basically carry child trauma into our adult lives, and we tend to become these people that have issues, and these issues, they filter into our relationships, they just filter into so many things, and we just need to find healing. We need to become whole again. Yeah, so to me, the epidemic was all about finding healing. The That's what I call the third wave. So going back to a story of my childhood, another thing that sits with me, it's you know having parents that you feel like they somehow neglected you. Those things sit with you because you will have abandonment issues later in life. So there's this one story I want to share. I don't know, for some reason it just stayed in my subconscious. Like it's one of those memories that just engraved there. One of those files in your mind that if you think about it, you can access it so quickly. But I did move past it. So this is how the story goes. So my mom and stepdad, they had to go somewhere, and I was still young, and they didn't want to take me with, so they drove with me to my granny's house. And I know, how we are as kids, we cry because we want to be with the grown-ups, with the people that's supposed to look after us. We want to be with those people. And I don't know where they had to go to, so they tried to bribe me. And I think I'm still a very stubborn person. So they tried to bribe me with a box of Romani creams. So all the way we drove all the way to my granny's house, and they basically left me at my granny's house, and I then with this box of biscuits to actually bribe me, because I don't know, for some reason they just felt like you had to bribe kids with the box of biscuits, and like that didn't work. Like I still felt like these people abandoned me, and like I still think that situation brings up, it's a trigger to other things in my life. And to me, like I think to a child it was a very traumatic experience, but it all happened in the past. Like I moved on. I grew from it, and I think the third wave just the being on lockdown, it just brought those memories back, and I had the opportunity to sit in that pain, feel that pain, and work through that pain, forgive the people that put me through that pain. And I remember that if this happened years ago, you have to forgive the person at that age when they did this thing to you, not in the now. You have to go back to the past and forgive them at that stage in your life, so that you can move forward with your life, so you can clear out that energy that you've been sitting with. So to me, the third wave was also about just clearing out all these unnecessary energies that was in my life. And I think I'm feeling lighter now, like I'm on a like I'm on a journey to just being the best me that I can be. So as I said, within the third wave of the epidemic, these childhood traumas came to the surface, and it got me into my feelings. I knew I had to sit in the pain for a while. I had to sit in gratitude for that pain. It's like sitting in a fire so you can come out as pure gold. Sitting with the pain so you can let it go. So to me, the third wave is all about disconnecting and reconnecting with self, and dealing with the things that you kept hidden in the darkest places of your being. I managed to leave all that hurt where it belongs, in the past. I have forgiven those who caused me pain, for they didn't know better at the time. They would have and if they knew better, then they would have done better. The world is changing, and we have to embrace the new normal. I found healing in the lockdown, and I'm embracing the path the universe has for me. I'm just riding the wave because my story is still being written. I'm just on a journey of becoming. It ain't over until it's over. This chapter is still being written now. It's me being in a creative world of radio podcast. Not this podcast only, also the Evoke Radio podcast. This far, it's been an educational journey. You know that feeling when you step into your purpose, when you get into that flow state, when you do what you love, and it's your purpose, and it doesn't feel like work anymore. I do hope you find your way to ride the wave. So to me, that's what the third wave is all about. So I'm moving along to what I want to do in the podcast in future. Starting now, I like to share a quote, and I hope it will give you some inspiration, not motivation, because motivation is actually bullshit. So the quote today comes from the legendary, the late Maya Angelou. So here's the quote. It says, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. People know themselves much better than you do. That's why it's important to stop expecting them to be something other than who they are." That's the other thing of being on lockdown. Like on lockdown, when you're in the midst of the lockdown, you are forced to spend time with people, and the people we spend time with is actually our family and our relatives. So in the lockdown, our family and relatives actually show us who they are, and we have to believe them. We have to believe that that's who they are, and we also have to accept the fact that that's who they are, and not come from a place of judgment, but come from a place of understanding who they are, and learn how you navigate your way around their energy, how you navigate around just coexisting with family during a time of lockdown, because we're all different people, we're all different on different parts in this world, and we're all here to learn in this earth school. We're all here to become better beings. So I just feel that you have to protect your energy field. Not everyone is allowed to be in your space. When people come at you with bad vibes, you have the right to protect your life force, your energy. Keep your cup full. Never run on empty just to please another human being. Remember, there are takers in the world. Those who just take. Then you have these with the me complex. Everything is about them. The ego is so huge, it fills up soccer stadiums. I've come to a stage in my life where I give to those who are good to me. Those who give me good energy, I give it right back. Those who don't demand too much from me. I'm a light being, and I'm going to shine in my life. I will allow no one to blow out my flame. They will never take my power. I will never fade away in someone else's shadow. My skin is kissed by the bright African sun. I'm a proud African, South African, colored son, brother, uncle, cousin, nephew, godfather, friend. I'm proud of my nappy hair, my big ears, big lips, big nose, melanin skin, mixed hoods, mixed culture. I am Billy Arons, and you are listening to Figuring It Out with Billy Arons. I'm out. Namaste. Loving kindness to the world.